it's me, Jessica Ham, and before we get started with this review, I would like to remind you to like and subscribe because it really helps me out. I'm really passionate and excited about this channel, and so if you like this video, please subscribe and share it with friends. Anyways, today I'm going to be talking about the finale of season 2 of Big Little Lies. Now, I watched the first season when it came out originally. Was it about a couple of years ago, I think? And I loved it so much. It really was such a high quality show, and I really enjoyed that they were able to tell a really great story in only 7 episodes. There are so many shows that have 22 episodes and there's half of it's filler, and there was no filler in this. It was all hype all the time. Now, I'm not going to talk about spoilers yet, but I will warn you when I do. Now, I didn't like this season overall as much as the first, because it was the aftermath of the first season, and it just wasn't as good. I don't know how to explain it. It was kind of slow, and the whole keeping the secret, keeping the lie thing got a little old, because in my opinion the show should have been called If You Had Told the Truth, Everything Would Have Been Fine, the show. Because literally they had no reason to keep this lie, really. They could have just told the truth, claimed self-defense like it was, and everything would have been fine. But no, then there wouldn't be a second season. But yeah, overall, I didn't enjoy this season as much as the first. Meryl Streep, however, killed it as Mary Louise. Hated her character with a passion, but I mean, she did a really good job at acting like a kind of crazy, but also soft and sympathetic grandmother. There were pretty much every episode I wanted to punch her in the face, but you know, it is what it is, I guess. The acting was amazing as usual. All of them deserve Emmys. Hopefully all of them will get Emmys. I didn't really look at the Emmy nominations, but hopefully the Big Little Lies got some of them because they really deserve it. All the actors do a really great job. Overall though, with this show, I definitely can say that the women characters are much better than the male characters. All the male characters suck. They're all pieces of shit guys. I mean, Adam Scott's character is only a piece of shit half of the time, but still, you can get on your nerves. But the women characters, yes, they are all flawed. Yes, they all make mistakes, but they all grow, and they're all powerful, and they're all amazing. And the male characters kind of just seem to be the punching bag, and they don't really have a lot of depth with the male characters at all. And so that's really my only gripe with the show, is that I feel like they really didn't flesh out the male characters very well. But anyways, now I am warning you, I'm going to get into spoiler territory. If you have not seen the season 2 finale of Big Little Lies, warning you, do not watch the rest of this. Go watch it and then come back and finish this video. Okay, so to say that I wanted to punch Mary Louise in the face when she said she was gonna try to get custody over the boys is an understatement. I freaking hated her. I hated her from the beginning, and I hated her even more. But I am so beyond glad that Celeste got her kids. Literally, when that happened, I did a happy dance in this exact living room. So I was stoked. I was so happy. I can't tell you how happy I was that she got her kids, and also how heartwarming it was that Madeline and Ed renewed their vows. I was so worried that he was going to break up with her and never forgive her, but I think it says a lot about him. Now, what I said earlier about them not really fleshing out the male characters, in this season 2 finale, Ed is an exception to that, because they really showed him growing as a person and realizing that, yeah, Madeline is a little self-destructive. Yeah, she's insecure and all these things. And yeah, that led her to do something really terrible and stupid, but she feels guilty about it. She loves Ed, and I'm glad he really realized that and they got to renew their vows. Now, all this stuff with Bonnie this season was a little irritating to me, because she literally spent the whole entire season just like a catatonic zombie, and I understand because she was the one who pushed Perry, I get it, but it was self-defense, and she knows that it was self-defense, and if she was and she blames everybody else for keeping the lie, even though she went along with it. She didn't have to go along with it. She wasn't BFFs with any of those girls. She didn't have to go along with that secret. She could have easily just been like, hey, I pushed him out of self-defense. He was attacking Celeste. I pushed him. The end. And she wouldn't have had to be a catatonic zombie this entire time. But I gotta admit, I do love that she told Nathan that she was never in love with him, because he's the worst character. Well, one of the worst characters. And I was kind of happy about that, because I don't think Nathan really deserves for someone as gorgeous and amazing as Bonnie to be in love with him. So there you go. Who's next? Oh, Jane. Jane was always my favorite. I have a soft spot in my heart for Shailene Woodley, for the different things she's done, especially being Hazel in the Fault in Our Stars movie. What's up? But I honestly, I didn't know how I felt at first about where they were going with her character this season, but I honestly really appreciated how they dealt with the PTSD that comes with sexual assault, how it really is hard for a lot of women to ever open themselves up to physical intimacy ever again after a rape, sexual assault, because it honestly is scary. Like, I can speak from experience. It is a scary thing to do, because the last time you were physically intimate with somebody, like, you were sexually assaulted or raped, and it's really hard to grasp that when you're with someone you love, that probably won't happen, and they'll probably treat you well, hopefully. And so it's really hard to let someone in that way again, and I feel like they did that really well. I'm happy that she was able to overcome her PTSD and be intimate with, I can't remember his name. I like that. I thought that there was a lot of really well done writing when it came to how her character was dealing with the PTSD of all of that. I, again, can say from experience that that was very, very accurate and well written to that type of situation. Oh, Renata. In my opinion, Renata was the scene stealer of this season, and based on all of the GIFs and all that all over the internet, I think most of the other people agree. She kicked so much ass this season, especially when she shoved the tissues in her husband. I can't even remember his name because he's such a piece of shit that I don't even want to think about remembering his name. But when she shoved the tissues in his mouth, when she beat all of his crap with that bat, I was like, bitch, you don't get to have those toys after you made me sell all of my crap because you were doing illegal shit and then we had to go into bankruptcy. You don't get to play with your toys. I have to sell my entire house that my daughter grew up in. You don't get your stupid toys. And I was like, yes, 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 go for it. She was a queen this season, and especially in the finale. And honestly, the ending was a little predictable. I kind of assumed that in the finale they were all going to confess. From what I can tell, it really seems like that is the last season, so we're probably never going to know, like, do they all end up going to prison? Is it just Bonnie? Do the other girls get, like, house arrest for being complicit in the lie? Who knows? But overall, I was very satisfied with the ending of the finale. A lot of people complain online, and I don't really understand, because I feel like they offered a very significant amount of closure for these characters for only having 2 seasons. I mean, maybe there'll be a season 3. I don't really know how they can stretch that kind of storyline beyond that, and based on some of the stuff the actors have said on like Instagram and Twitter and stuff like that, it does kind of seem like it's the end. But I guess, who knows, if it does well, maybe they will make another season. We'll get to see what happens to them. Hopefully they're not all in prison, especially after Madeline just renewed her vows and Jane finally moved past her PTSD and Celeste just got her kids back and all those different things. I really hope that things end up okay with them, but I don't know if we'll ever know. So that's it. Next week I'm going to be starting a new series where I watch some of the worst rated movies on Netflix. I'll watch 1 movie per video. I don't have the screen capture abilities to do like a reaction thing, but I will watch the movie and then make a silly review about it. And so yeah, that's something I'm really excited about doing. It's going to be really fun. I love watching movies on Netflix, and sometimes I accidentally end up watching really shitty ones. So it'll be fun to see what stuff I can find in the dark, dark depths of the worst rated movies on Netflix. So that's it. Goodbye, internet. I will see you next weekend.